We have no proclamations, additions, or deletions to the agenda. Before we have the public forum, Madam Clerk would like to take item number 27 out of order.
Announcement of decision on the request submitted by Bryan and Stratton College for a special use permit to operate an institution of higher education and technical vocational school to be known as Bryan and Stratton College on property located at 846 Long Pond Road.
Councilman Bilski.
The record demonstrates that the proposed use is undesirable at this particular location. Now therefore be it resolved that the request submitted by Bryan and Stratton College for a special use permit to operate an institution of higher education and technical vocational school on property located at 846 Long Pond Road hereby be denied. So moved.
Second. Moved by Councilman Bilski, second by Councilman Morris. Under discussion. On the motion for denial, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Before we begin, if anyone's here, the Greastown Board meeting starts at 6 o'clock. The decision on Bryan and Stratton was the approval of the denial. So Bryan and Stratton has been rejected. Sir, go ahead.
Why were we till 6:30 then?
Ma'am, we have a public forum. I don't have that answer for you.
Take the lectern after me. You know who I am. I'm Dave Garrison. I live on Waterwood Drive. I'm the leader of the Democratic Party in Greece. How cowardly can you get? How cowardly can you get? A week ago, I'm sitting in your agenda review session. I think probably, with the exception of the supervisor's misconduct in office, I think the hottest issue you folks have addressed this year, or rather failed to address this year, is this Bryan and Stratton situation. It was not on your agenda. You sneak it on your agenda, something of high interest to hundreds of citizens, without notice, without announcement. It's been in front of you for months, and you sneak it in at the 11th hour without telling folks. How cowardly can you get? Are you that afraid to face the voters and tell them what you're going to do? Now, along those lines, I got a phone call today. And I got a number of calls like this. Somebody called me and he said to me, you're the boss of the Democrats, right? You know, I'm in the phone book. People say their newspaper clippings or whatever. I don't know. They look me up, they call me. And I get this question once or twice a week, sometimes more often. Why is John Allberger still in office? Someone called me this afternoon at 1 o'clock to ask me that question. Why is John Allberger still in office? Somebody else called me yesterday. Do you know what their question was? Why is John Allberger still in office? I don't know what to tell people. My answer to them is, I think you should direct that question to the town board, to Bill Breilich, to Maggie Brooks, because I don't know. All I can tell you is that apparently in our one-party town, the Republican Party wishes the supervisor to stay for whatever reason, and that's why he is still here. That's all I know. But it occurred to me after I hung up the phone, you folks must get this question too. You must be out seeing voters at events or at their doors, and people are probably, I bet you're all listening to the phone book, people are probably calling you the same way they're calling me. And they're probably asking you the same questions they ask me. Why is John Allberger still in office? And I'm curious, what is your answer? Are you telling them John Allberger is still in office because I served with him on town board and I'm proud to serve next to him because he's a man of exemplary character and he adheres to the highest standard of personal and professional conduct, and that's why he is still in his office as supervisor, because he's the highest possible caliber of a person we could have in that office, and that's why I'm proud to keep him in that office. Is that what you tell folks? Something like that? Probably not. Because I remember back in April, I remember you folks had a press conference and said, well, you know, the supervisor, maybe we like him, maybe we don't, but he hasn't done anything illegal, so that's good enough for us. Next topic. Hasn't done anything illegal, that's enough. Is that what you tell folks? Just the fact that the fact that we have broken laws is enough, and the fact that our top standards of conduct have been violated, that the supervisor withheld information from the chief of police and the police department, is that enough? Is that what you tell folks? I'd like to suggest, and I don't know what you do tell folks, I'd like to suggest the truth. And I don't know the truth, but I'll speculate. I bet what you would like to tell folks is, you know, I would like to do the right thing. I would like to do the right thing. But there's some very powerful things in play, and I hold low cards, and the other people hold the trump cards and the better cards, and I just don't. If you think I'm elected to something, you think I've got a voice, but in truth, I do not have a say. I sit on this board, and I do not have a say. Other people have made this decision. They've made it for whatever reason, and I've just got to go along. And you know why I've got to go along? Because my job's at stake. Because my full-time job, my livelihood relies on my loyalty to the one-party system in which I'm engaged. And you know, I'd like to do the right thing, but I really, you know, I've got a family, I've got a mortgage, and I'm not going to risk my job in order to stand up and do what's right. I think that's what you would like to say. And I think when you look in the mirror in the morning, I think that's what you were thinking to yourself, that you would like to do the right thing, but you just don't want to take the risk. Now, I'm here tonight to urge you to get past your hesitation. It is time to do the right thing. It is time for you to look in the mirror, to look at yourself, to put aside your fears about your livelihood, to put aside your ambitions. Gee, maybe you'd like to be a judge or a supervisor or a department head at the county. Maybe those ambitions will have to be shelved for a while in order to do the right thing. You know, a lot of times, whistleblowers take a risk. These are people who risk their jobs. They risk their livelihoods to do the right thing. And it's tough. It's not an easy path, but it's the right path. Next time a voter comes up to you and asks you that question, I hope you will tell the truth, and I hope you'll be able to hold your head high and give them an answer that they deserve to hear. And I also hope that in this body, you folks, at your next session, will take a vote of confidence, as I asked you almost 6 months ago now. Take a vote of confidence. Let's see where you stand, you poor people. Do you support the supervisor or do you not? We want to know. Thank you.
Anyone else care to address the board? If, for those of you, there may have been a misunderstanding. I'm sorry. For those of you who came for the Bryant Stratton decision, the Greasetown board meeting, and as a courtesy, we thought we were to take it out of order early, but I'm assuming most of you were here and hoping for a denial, and it was the case for the application. The vote was... The vote was 5-0 in favor of the denial. So that's why, even though it was, you might have thought it was a yes vote, but it was a yes to deny. So, but we thought because the applicant was here and there was a couple of interested residents that we decided to take it out of order. But again, for Brian Stratton, the application has been denied.
Go ahead. Can you tell us what the next step may be for the builder in this case? I don't know that we all know what the application process entails and what their motion to build there has been denied. So if I'm in their shoes, I'm going to reload and come back for another go at it. Can you just explain to the
normally, but we'll go ahead. So Mr. Beckowski, you explain the what likely could happen after tonight's decision?
The developer of the property and Bryant Stratton College probably are going to have to give some thought as to what they do next. They may choose to, Bryant Stratton may choose to walk away from the site. The developer and Bryant Stratton may choose to make a significant modification to their proposal and make a new application. They also may choose to challenge the town board's decision in the state Supreme Court.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Anyone else care to address the town board? Sure.
Mr. Supervisor, I know you normally don't engage in a back and forth during the public forum. You just broke with that just now when I applauded.
Sir, if I may.
I think that's the right thing to do. And since you did that for these folks, I'd like you to do it for me. I pose a question to you folks, I'd like to hear an answer. Do you support the supervisor?
Sir, if you would please sit down, I will address.
Answer the question.
There obviously was a misunderstanding.
You'll
at the
just
time
engage
of
in
the
back and
meeting.
forth with folks when you agree with them and not when you receive nothing.
Obviously, there was a number of people, there was a misunderstanding as to the time of the meeting, and normally we don't engage in a question and answer, but it was a legitimate question for that.
My question is a legitimate question.
That'll be a.
Do you folks support the supervisor?
Mr.
I'll wait for an answer.
No, we're not, wait, you're not getting an answer.
Do you speak
Anyone
for
else
the board
care to
with your
address the
supervisor?
board?
I didn't ask you, I asked these board members.
We will.
I'm asking Shannon O'Keefe, I'm asking Robert Bilski, I'm asking Andrew Common, I'm asking Kirk Morris, and I'm waiting for an answer.
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
Right, you're out of order, sir. Motion for recess.